one of the big topics that we're real familiar with on the Illuvium side is a substantial amount of esports arena tournaments that we anticipate and what that's going to look like with big time prize pools that are available. What's your take on this as far as it relates to esports in Web3?
Yeah, in regards to the esports thing, I think it's going to be super fascinating because a lot of the larger esports that are going on, you've got your Dota, you've got your League of Legends. Dota, if I'm not mistaken, still holds the number one spot for highest prize pool. I think that's always going to be there. But what this with Dookie Dash, in my opinion, has shown us is there's room for these smaller projects. And I say smaller compared to Dota and League of Legends, right? Like there's multiple ways. Like you see, there are big games like Hearthstone. There are big games like Teamfight Tactics that have really, really small or mediocre prize pools compared to what, in my opinion, these gamers should be getting. And I think we can see that in the Web3 space that there are these opportunities. You're looking at it with Illuvium, with how much they've allocated to their esports and things like that, or prize pools. You obviously see it with Dookie Dash. And in regards to like the secondary market coming into play as well, I think that's a fascinating thing. I'm not sure if that's the route that Illuvium's going to go. I don't think it is, but I'm sure there are going to be other games with crazy IPs that come out that do take that secondary market approach as well. So I think there's a growing pie, that the opportunity is growing in Web3 for competitive gamers in different avenues. That's 100% for sure. And I think that's a lot more, there are a lot more doors and opportunities in Web3 gaming for competitive gamers I see moving forward compared to traditional gamers, traditional kind of esports. I know there are so many big games that they just don't get support for esports, or the sponsors aren't there. And it's crazy that these are massive games. And I always have to mention this at least one time, but Smash Bros. Is one of those games as well. Like it's a massive success for the Nintendo franchise. And the esports gets no support from Nintendo, gets no support from sponsors because Nintendo doesn't sponsor it. Mm-hmm. And it's just a risky thing, right? Like, but if you look at the console sales, it's when it launched, it was the number one. If I'm not mistaken, to this day, it's top 5 highest selling games on the console from 2017, which is like 6 years. Like it's crazy. It's made so much money, and I think that's the way with a lot of traditional games. Even if there's a massive community, if the project or the company doesn't want it, it doesn't happen. And I think that's different with Web3. I think if the community is big enough, there will be some sort, like I say, whether it's a secondary market thing or something like that, there is just way more opportunities. So I don't want to make the claim that, Web3 game, like esports, the future of esports is in Web3 gaming completely, because I don't think that's true. I think there's still the Dotas, there's still the League of Legends, there's still going to be those things there. But I think there's going to be, like, I look at that as the ivory tower. It's very much needed. It's still going to be there. But I think it's going to open up, Web3 games going to open up the doors for a lot more people to get involved in and make that switch if that's what they're. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah.
They're going to bring a whole lot of eyeballs